Hood movie review. Hood movie review. Hood movie review. Watch us on YouTube.
Is this thing on? Damn, your daddy mean. He worse than the boogeyman himself. Got you raking all these leaves. Who you think he is? Kunta Kinte? It's like all you do is raking some leaves. It wasn't that serious. Right. This is Hood Movie Review.
And you're watching us on YouTube. Okay, go ahead.
Watch us on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You and YouTube. All y'all better watch it. So this is like Hood Movie Review, and we review Hood movies. Today we're reviewing the movie Boyz in the Hood. We got your host, of course, Kenny. And we got to my right, we got TK.
How you doing out there? You know, shout out to Dare.
Shout out to Dare.
Kids off the different.
Okay, so we're gonna start like this. You already know we start off here. What do you think of that soundtrack for this movie? What do you think of the soundtrack?
I give it a 5.
So yeah, I forgot. We're rating out of 5.
Yeah, I give it a 5.
This is the first Hood movie, right? Like the first ever Hood movie. I feel like.
What, this one?
Yeah, I think this is the first ever Hood movie.
Like ever?
Yeah, I think this is the first ever Hood movie.
I don't know. Like, I feel like it might be the first ever Hood movie with Hood in the movie, like title or something. I don't think it's the first ever Hood movie.
I think it's the first one. I think it is the first one for real.
Damn, that's some facts right there. If it is for real, like that's what's up.
So yeah, it's a. I mess with this movie, but it's like it's one of the movies I don't go back and watch like that. But it's cool. I'm gonna say that it's cool for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. Like, it was something I seen when I was younger. I've seen it older and all that. But you know, it's a movie you watch, you don't really pay attention to. But then when you watching it for a review, I watched it different today, and I noticed a lot of different stuff.
Okay, so when I start going through, because what we do here is, by the way, I gave a soundtrack of 5 as well. But when we start doing a review and like we break down the movie here in a little bit, I'm gonna say when we get to certain parts and you know it's around that part you figure some stuff out in. Go ahead and interrupt me. Go ahead and interrupt me if you need to.
Oh, you said do? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know I was going to anyway, most likely.
Yeah, we'll say go ahead.
I probably was because I'm gonna forget it quick, so I got to get it out. So
I'm about to say just make sure to interrupt me.
So are we starting at the beginning though, when he got there, like from where you quoted that at? Because I got something right after that. Like,
so I'm gonna start off. So the movie starts off with a little kid asking his friends they want to see something. He shows them a dead body. So with that part, or is it something after that?
Nah. It was when he went to his dad's house, like right after you just gave that quote. You think you the boogeyman, and then they left.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm about to come up on that.
Yeah.
So they're in class now, and the main character Trey. It's disrupting class. Can speak for a second. And the teacher's like, hey, if you think you can teach the class, then go on ahead then. Come on up here. So he does it. So he goes up there and does it. Until the same kid that showed him the dead body earlier.
His boy.
Like, yeah, it's his boy too. And he tells him, he's like, hey, you know, y'all from Africa. Like first man was from Africa. And he's like, I ain't from Africa. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia.
Right.
So Trey gets in his face, he's like, nah, you from Africa. And then the kid hits him with a goat kid roast. You know, when you was a kid, when you hit somebody with this one, it's a game. Like it ends the whole thing right here. You call somebody
you gotta throw hands.
African booty scratcher. You call him African booty scratcher, and you ain't no come back from that. There's no roast better than being called African booty scratcher.
Now you got a head, buddy.
Yep. So they fight in class. So they end up fighting in class. You know, they start swinging. They're like, hey. So they swinging, doing their thing. So now he walks home. I noticed this. He walks home, and them people just getting jumped behind him. They going crazy in the background.
Dice game never ends well.
He's walking like, huh. So then his mom, Reva, who's Angela Bassett, the GOAT actress, in my opinion, the GOAT actress. What's love got to do with it? Waiting to Exhale, Black Panther.
I know. I didn't argue. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, let's say gets. Then you know, I got guys. I said a couple of movies she's been in. Get the call from the school.
That's Michael Jackson. That's Michael Jackson, mama, right there. Boy. That's Catherine.
That's Catherine. She gets a call from the school, and she's like, "Look, y'all ain't got to worry about Trey no more because I'm removing him from the school. He gonna live with his daddy."
She said his father.
Yeah, and that was wild. Like she was like, yeah, she like having it because she started asking her questions like, "Did you go to school?" And like all these different questions. She's like, "Yeah, I went to."
Weird as shit. She said, "Oh, so you are educated."
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
bitch, hold
racist.
on.
Like that's racist.
That
And
was really. She said, "Oh, so you are educated."
she was like, "So do you work?" And she was like, "Yeah, I work." She was like, "It's none of your business, but I do work." Yes. She's like, "He asked about a job." I said she went to school, all kind of different stuff. So they so she's like, "I'm removing Trey from the school. You ain't got to worry about him no more. He's gonna live with his daddy." And then when Trey comes home, he's like, "Yeah, did you give her the business?" Like he's like talking to Mess like, "Yeah, you tell her off." And she's like, "Wait. Before we start getting all that," she was like, "We had a written agreement. We had a written contract." I didn't like that. The fact that she pulled out a contract that he signed.
I mean, I feel like that was just her trying to be a mother, though. She had to try something different, you know. She had to try different tactics, and she bargained with him. But the thing is, that was a contract that was like, you signed this, you like, we agreed to this, and you like, so now since you broke it, so she was teaching him something at the same time. I like that because it's like that's your word. That you feel me?
You gotta be man of your word.
And you see what happened when he got over there.
Yeah. So the wild thing is like, because she lived in a decent area. Like it wasn't bad.
I wonder like how far because they never really made it seem like how far they were from each other.
Yeah, because it wasn't that. Yeah, I don't know exactly where she lived at, but it wasn't that bad.
Right.
And she was like, "I'm gonna make you live with your daddy." Pretty much, she was like, "That's the agreement. You mess up, you gotta live with your dad, Fury Styles, which is Lawrence Fishburne. You know,
that's a name.
With it also."
Hey, about to say real talk. Damn, that's crazy because I would have never put that together. They play. Hey, look, they fit like a glove. I couldn't get my fingers together.
Yeah, I don't know. I was about to make a joke and connect it like, "Hey, look, so Tina Turner, like I was gonna do a whole little thing." I was like,
"I don't know how you could do that."
Yeah, it was.
Oh, do say they all connected, but I don't know. They moved up real well from there.
So and the weird thing is, she's like, "I want better for you," and then she sends him to the hood with his dad, and she's like, she's talking to Furious. She's like, "You said it before. I can't teach him to be a man. This is where you come in."
Right.
And then he's like, "Okay." So then his first night there, my fault. So you gotta say what you gotta say.
So when they rode off, why was my man? So you see Doughboy, he was actually riding skateboard the right way. He was kick pushing it, like Lupe said. Then you see Chris, he on his knee pushing that motherfucker like.
That's probably how you got handicapped.
And that's what I was going. That was my correlation. Either way, he was doomed.
He was bound to be handicapped.
He was bound to be. He was already handicapped as a kid. It looked like.
You know what it looked like? He wasn't appreciative of his legs, so God took his legs.
And look, that's what I was trying to say because he wanted to be on his knee, not kicking and pushing. He just wanted to be on his knee riding that shit. That's why he ended up in the wheelchair.
Even I wish later, like, damn, I wish I could kick and push like I did.
Like right. Nah, look, and I don't know if you heard some of them jokes they were saying to him, but Doe was real disrespectful to him. He said, "If I roll your ass up off this porch."
That was wild. And he did it later on too. He said, "I'm about to roll you out this damn car, make you walk home." I said, "Wow."
Y'all was more like, I feel like they boys though, so they know they can do that.
That's his best friend because you see,
they went to jail together. Well, I'm sorry, I mean to ruin that. So go ahead.
I mean, they know
that was all in the same week, I think, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it couldn't have been that far. It couldn't have been that far. So his first night there, someone breaks in and tries to rob him. And wait, before I even get to that,
yeah, you gotta get into
that. Fury is telling him like the rules of the house. He's like, "Hey,
the same as on the weekend."
Yeah, just like and the way he was talking to him like he hasn't been over forever. Like he was just there Saturday. You know what I'm saying? He's just there Saturday and Sunday. But he was like, "You remember the rules, right?" He's like, "Yeah, got to clean my room, got to clean the sink, and I think he said take the trash if I remember correctly.
Clean this bathtub.
Yeah.
I gotta clean that bathtub.
Yeah.
He said, "Yep."
I don't think his rules were that bad. The way he was,
they weren't that bad. They was just chores for the crib. He was just like. But the thing is, he probably had those same rules at his mom's crib, kind of, maybe a little bit looser. But it's like he didn't appreciate it. He broke the contract. Gotta go stay with Pops. Oh, see, the first night, Pops had him raking leaves, and he was doing curls in the crib. Like, he ain't doing that at the house. He was getting him ready. Like, yeah.
So he says first night there, someone breaks in and tries to rob him, and Furious shoots at him. And when Trey, like after dude runs off, and Trey's like, "Man, you should have blew his head off," and he's like, Furious is like, "Nah, I would have been contributing to kill another brother. I ain't trying to do that." So they out there waiting on the cops. Cops show up an hour later.
Eating with coffee and donuts.
Bro.
Just like they just, you feel me? They had,
just
we got time. They ain't going nowhere.
Just lollygagging. So Furious tells him, he's like, hey, you know, y'all late, right? Like, he's gone.
They ain't asked that.
Yeah. And the black cop, he's showing him a lot of hostility. So he's telling him like what's going on. And he's like, yeah, you know, I shot at him, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, did you hit him? And he was like, if I hit him, I wouldn't be calling y'all. And he was like, oh, so you got some. So he's just like being weird, everything he say. So the cop's like, did you shoot him? And he was like, nah. He's like, yeah. He's like, well, if you had shot one less black man in the streets, it would have been good for us. And he's just like, damn. So then Furious ends up calling him a coon pretty much in like a roundabout way, and goes back in the house. So next day, Doughboy is getting cussed out by his mom, but the mom shows like, you can see she's already showing favoritism towards Ricky already.
Mm-hmm.
So Trey comes by and they all go walking through the neighborhood, and the one Jerry Curl friend, you know, little Chris, they want to see a dead body. And while they're looking at it, they get approached by some older kids. And the one kid, you know, the one that ends up in Menace Society, you know, I think that's the one I told y'all about.
Sharif.
It was a Sharif, I think.
About to say, but did you realize the other dude was in South Central? Bear. He was the one in the blue pants.
Forever.
I just watched that the other day on your HBO, whatever was on you.
Yeah, HBO Max.
Yeah, I know you've seen that in there. Probably that was me. Like, nah,
I don't like,
his name was Bear.
I don't like that movie. So when we get to that, I'm gonna let y'all know I don't like that movie. So y'all
gotta watch it again. It's not as bad.
So yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know I ain't like that movie, but I'm gonna watch it again when
I feel like real talk, real shit. I would say I feel like those two movies have the same basis and are similar. More than
Boyz in the Hood and South Central.
Yeah, I think they're similar, like by just the message that they're trying to get through.
I think I always call it like the big three for hood movies. You know, you got Menace Society, Boyz in the Hood, South Central. Those are the big three for me. Even though, like those are my favorites. I'm gonna say those are my favorites, but those are like when people think hood movies, those are like the big three, in my opinion. I think those are the Mount Rushmore, if we gotta say, for hood movies. That's the ones everybody ends up basing everything off of. Those are the Mount Rushmore.
I feel you, but I feel like South Central and Boyz in the Hood had the same overall message. Menace to Society don't have that message in there.
No, I think it does though. I think it does, but it's just he glorified it more than the rest of them did because I'll say this in Boyz in the Hood, he was about to, you know, like spoiler alert. So he was going to go out there and ride on him and then change his mind. And then you got South Central. He had the little kid, not a little kid, but OG Bobby Johnson. He did what he did, went to jail, and then he went back to save his son from going through the same mistakes that he did.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like the message is.
Then you got Menace Society. He didn't figure it out until he was dying. He was like, "Oh shit, I want to change my ways," and that's how it was. Because remember at the end he was like, "Hey, he's like, what my dad cared, my grandpa cared if I live or died." He's like, "Damn, like I really do," and that was his way of thinking. Like I shouldn't have gone down this path. That's how I took it.
I think the message is real talk. I think the message is a black father is needed in that type of environment or something like that for real. And that's why I would look at it. Because South Central, it was about OG Bobby Johnson getting out, trying to raise his son, trying to teach his son how to be a man. And I feel like in, you feel me, Boyz in the Hood, it's showing Furious, a black man raising his son, trying to teach his son how to be a man and make the right decisions.
Yeah.
Menace to Society, it was,
he didn't have
my son how to be a man, you feel me? But he couldn't teach his son how to be a man because he didn't have a dad. So I feel like all those, like, they're intertwined to show, if anything, Menace to Society to show if he had a father, maybe, but his dad was just as worse. You feel me?
His dad was bad too.
I don't want you, but yeah. But it's like OG Bobby Johnson was bad. He had to change his ways. Furious was already a good man, but it was just still showing a positive light on the black dad in the community. I think. Yeah, that's what I think.
I get what you're saying. I'm saying they all came to the same conclusion, but it was all at different times. Like where he didn't figure his out until he was dying,
right?
But he figured it out then. He was like, "Damn."
I did. Yeah. I remember. I say because I love Menace to Society. That's my movie.
And he didn't have a positive role model either in his life. That was the big thing about Menace to Society. He didn't
not at all. Right. Not at all. Bad friends. That's not about them though. So go ahead.
Yeah. So so the one Jericho friend, Lil Chris, asked if they want to see a dead body. While they're looking at it, they get approached by some older kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the one kid asked, like I said, Sharif, so this is before woke Sharif. He asked for Ricky's football.
He said, "Hey man, throw me the ball. I ain't gonna take it."
And Doughboy's like, "I told you not to bring that ball, man." And he's like, "Come on, let me." He's like, "Come on, let me." He's like, "Give me the ball. I ain't gonna take it. Anybody gonna take that ball?" So he tosses it to him, and then he just runs off with it. He's like, "Yeah," and they start playing with it.
He said, "Thanks, Gus."
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, he's like, "Thanks." And then so Doughboy, like, he's like, "Man, I told you." So Doughboy runs over there and tries to fight the older kid for the ball back.
Get my brother's ball back.
Yep.
But real talk. Before they left, he said, "If somebody take your ball, I ain't gonna say nothing."
Yeah.
But he said that before they left, so he knew something was gonna happen.
Well, you know, he knew. It is one of those things where it's like
it happened before.
I mean, yeah, he said that, but he was kind of like, "Damn, man, like, come on." But my question is which one's the older brother? Which one's older? Is it Ricky or is it Doughboy? I never knew.
I think Doughboy was older. I think kind of. That's what it seemed like to me, but I don't know.
Okay, because I never knew, and I was like, is he older or younger brother?
Because he wasn't in school, but at the same time, he wasn't in school because he was in jail. So
exactly,
it's like, but when he got out of jail,
we never seen him go to school.
His friends wanted to go to school. It sounded like, you know, they wanted to go to campus. But...
Yeah, I
know.
We're gonna talk about that because that was wild. Like that's one of the main things I was like, that was wild. So Doughboy, like I say, fights with a kid, he ends up losing. As they walk away, because they get up, walk off, they're all sad. As they walk away, Ricky's like looking all sad. Then he starts walking off, and then the big dude, like Bear,
that's what he's like.
Hey, he's so swole looking. Like, not even swole, but he just got his chest out like, hey.
He's big, big and dark. Just big and dark.
He throws with the ball. And when he gets in the ball, you know, and that's the thing too. For someone to be a football player, he couldn't catch that shit for nothing.
He was young. Look, I was disappointed in him as well because it's like that's all you do is throw that ball around, catch the ball, and he threw you a good pass. It wasn't the best pass, but still.
It was no, that was right to him though.
He dropped him to the knee and all that, like, and still dropped it.
Still missed it. I was like, this.
They was like, damn, you sorry.
So as they walk away, Doughboy's like, man, I wish I could kill him. I didn't say that part, but he was like, I wish I could kill him. And so we're like, okay, so we already see where Doughboy is like head. They're kind of telling you how everybody is in the group already before they grow up. So you see it again to establish the characters. So now they get home. Furious has a heart-to-heart with Trey. And he tells him, he's like, hey, when I was 17, you know, I made sure pretty much get my priorities straight, you know, to make sure, you know, I can be a good role model for you. He's like, because my friends, they was all living a life of crime. And I wasn't on that. And as this was going on, Lil Chris and Doughboy get arrested for stealing.
Because they like, we going to the store. He said, you ain't got no money. He said, so we going anyway. That's when they went fishing in because they was coming back from fishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go, little baby. Here you go.
This nigga K.I.
Nice little pacifier.
K.I. been funny lately. Oh, no, that was Damone.
Yeah, I must say they both. I get most improved.
About to say, he said, you're going to be a middle-aged white man someday. He said, fuck you. I said, oof. I like that. That's a good one. I like that.
So as is going on, Lil Chris and Doughboy get arrested for stealing. 7 years later, now it goes 7 years later, we're at a cookout. So the cookout was basically like a welcome home party for
Doe and Chris getting out of jail.
Yeah. And this was a wild conversation. So Ricky, who's now played by Morris Chestnut, he's grilling. He's trying to deal with the baby at the same time, which, in my opinion, he should have gave it that baby because he was like, no, I got it. Like, bro, all that smoke going to the baby's eyes. Like, go ahead, pass that baby on.
That baby went through a lot.
Yeah.
That baby went through a lot. So, yeah.
So the baby mom, which is Shanice, which is Demeter from Class Act.
Class
Act. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to deal with the baby. He ends up passing her off to her and the mom. And then we see Doughboy. He's playing dominoes. Doughboy is now played by Ice Cube. He's playing dominoes, and they having a weird conversation about pretty much they're roasting the new guy in the group, which is Dookie, who walks around with a pacifier in his mouth at all times. He's like, yeah, I'll be getting play. And he's like, okay, so why you messing with the crackheads then? He said, I don't fuck no crackheads. I just get head from them. And he's like, you gonna get AIDS? He said, you can't get no AIDS from no head. And they're like trying to explain it to him. And he's like, hey.
He needed that lesson.
So now we get now it's Trey, which is played by Cuba Gooding Jr. He comes in, he spots Brandy, which is Nia Long. And when you want to rate her? You want to rate her?
Right there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Nia Long.
She was different than how she looked in Friday.
I was gonna say, but that's Nia Long still. Like,
it's Nia Long, but she looked kind of nasty in this movie. She didn't look.
She
good.
didn't look the best. Like, look, she didn't look bad though, because it's Nia Long. So they was just trying to give her like
make her look young.
Make her look young for real. Look, so we seen her titty.
We did. We
seen her titty.
I forgot we did. We did.
I didn't expect her titty to look like that. I'm not judging her titty. I'm not judging her titty.
But you were judging the titty.
But I was judging her titty.
I'm not judging her. I'm just judging the titty. That's all.
If we're going to judge the titty, she get a 3. If we're going to judge the titty, just the titty should get a 3.
She'll get a 5 for this movie. I give her a 3 as well. They had her looking nasty this one.
Yeah, I give her a 3 if it's just off the titty. I give her a 3 just overall. Her, she can have a 3. But it's Nia Long though. It's Nia Long.
I got some trivia for you. Now we talk about it.
Okay.
Will Smith was considered for the role of Trey Styles, but turned it down due to being on The Fresh Prince.
I feel like that was smart on his part still to take The Fresh Prince.
Now I think about it. Have we seen Will Smith in a hood movie?
He was from the hood in Fresh Prince, so it's like that's his hood story.
He was goofy acting though. He wasn't doing.
I do feel like
that's the weird thing about that show. In general, it's like he's supposed to be this hood ass nigga, but he was the goofiest nigga. Like it was, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't even like.
I feel like he didn't have to act the same though when he went out there.
I don't know. It just. They would spin them around in the hood. When he was in the hood, they would spin them around.
True. Hey. Hey.
And then he got punked again when he tried to go back and get his lick back. Remember when he was
they had the chicken willy or whatever. I know what it was called.
Yeah, the man. Like they ain't treat him no kind of way. They ain't treat him good no kind of way.
I feel like I do think he could have played a better role than Cuba. Look, real talk.
At the time, he wasn't good at acting. He wasn't good at acting. Neither one. Will. Neither one. For real. I was talking about Will. Because Will wasn't a good actor yet. Will didn't start getting good at acting until he's like when his I would say when his style changed in Fresh Prince, when he stopped like wearing the hats to the side and started wearing real loud clothing, and he started wearing like college sweaters. Like when the show got like kind of a different feel, like that's
it did. I know what you mean.
Acting got better then.
About to say, I just like we all know the one scene where we like, yeah, he acted his ass off with that scene though.
So what the hell with him? So with that,
yeah, he don't want me.
Well, you don't want me.
Look,
man.
But the thing is, I
didn't do it. It just happened.
I feel like Will would have did that. He would have did that part a lot better than Trey gave us, than Cuba gave us.
I think what made that scene bad was the camera angle because it was like right underneath his chin. So he was like, huh? You wanna huh? It was like, then it went to his chin. He was like, oh, you wanna fucking fuck me? It was nasty. I think that's what ruined it. If they just let it be from outside, it would have been fine. But it was the
I don't think that role, it didn't have no, like, from what just happened leading to that moment, that didn't move me.
it was the face he made and then that. And then the angle. So it didn't help.
Yeah, so but we ain't even there yet. But I was like, the spoiler alert, that was from last week.
And some more trivia around this for the scene. Chris, little Chris, as an adult, the adult version of little Chris, which is Reggie Green, he's actually paraplegic in real life. His paralysis, just like his characters, was the result of gun violence. He was hit by a straight bullet at the age of 6.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
that wasn't his fault. Hit by a straight bullet at the age of 6 and lost his legs at the age of 6. Hey, and I will tell you though, when he was taking off in that wheelchair and he was moving,
bro,
I could tell he was used to that wheelchair.
Yeah,
that was his chair.
Because when I was watching it, I didn't know that. Like, so I found it out after the movie.
I'd have never knew that, but I was watching like this nigga is skilled.
I said that too because he was moving. Because when they went to jump that crackhead,
you feel me? He popped into that willy.
Bro,
but then he popped back and then pulled up. I thought he was about to hop on the curb. He was like,
hey, Chris, man. They got Chris up to the steps.
Right, yeah. And he said, pick him up. Okay, they respect him.
You're able to pick me up.
That's a lot of steps. You better pick me up.
It was 3 steps. It was 3.
Nigga, but you know how many steps 3 is when you in a chair? And they ain't have money for ramps back then. That was Ricky's one goal. Ricky's goal was to get a ramp for the crib, I feel like.
That's sad. That's sad. He wanted to make it just to get a nigga a ramp. That would be sad.
That
would have made his death hit that much harder. I'm like,
damn, well, another spoiler alert.
Spoiled this whole damn movie. By the way, spoiler alert. So after they get back from the what you call it, from the cookout, from the barbecue, Trey saves a crack baby from walking onto the streets.
Man,
he said, "Hey, get your baby off the street." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She's like, "Yeah."
So
she's like, "Trying to hold something, I'll suck your dick." He's like, "Get her back in there."
I have a question on this though. So around what time was this filmed in? Has this the late 80s or the early 90s or like?
So when this is supposed to be now, which would be 91, I think. Let me go back.
91. So that's in Cali. So my question is, do you think 91. Franklin Saint been through there already?
Franklin Saint was in the 80s. Was 80s.
So he was in the 80s. It wasn't into that era right there.
I think they'd probably be in there now, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like
at that point in time where it showed that part.
It probably 1990, 91, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was because I think they're still. I don't know. I got to go back and see, but I think they're still in the 80s from where they're at right now. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in the 80s. I'm gonna go back real quick.
Well, since you looked that up, speaking of her saying "I suck your dick," shout out to Organic Loving. The only online adult subscription store that you can like. I got you. You can look that up. Give you an ad read right here. Code T13. You can get 10% off. Is it 10% off? I can't even find it. I'm trying to find that shit. But yeah, look, you and your partner or partners can spice some shit up in the bedroom. If you enter the code T13 at organicloving.com.
There go Sledge.
Hey, my nigga TK got a damn beater on. It must be a good day today.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. No.
You said nothing, chilling, killing.
You feel me? Yeah, we talking about boys in the hood. I got my slippers on.
Go boy.
You got a 40?
Nah, I got a sun kiss.
That nigga. Hey, look, I got a question for y'all. You don't think it was the same 40 the entire movie? Where he was nursing that 40.
He wasn't nursing that 40. About to say, no, when he was with old girl.
He literally go, that's it every time.
Hey, about to say, because you got to make it. But I say, but old girl's around, she drank the whole 40 up.
You better go to the store with that shit.
And so after Trey saves the crack baby from walking to the street, he ends
up.
God,
that's
I mean, that's what happened. I ain't lying. That's what happened.
Can you just say the baby?
That's a crack baby. Let's be honest. That's a crack baby.
Hey, so Sledge, I asked him. I said, "Do you think Franklin Saint been through there yet?" And he was looking that up.
What, Compton? South Central LA it's flooded with crack. Franklin Saint's already been there, done that. He's on greater things now.
Okay,
true.
Franklin Saint is international.
The fact there's crackheads there says it.
Right. Okay. I was just, you know, so I was
They
just
already
wondering.
had. They didn't had some of that. So he ends up like while he's walking down the street, he ends up getting pressed by the Bloods. Like they come up there, the one dude got the shotgun. He's like, you know, he met
the AIDS nigga.
yeah, damn it. He pulls the gun out on him, and that nigga's honestly, I'm gonna start a villain thing too, because that nigga is a like the villain. He is. There's one of four villains that are the villains of Hood Movie Review. It goes him, my nigga from Players Club.
Who? Clifton Powell?
He must be a junior. What's it? I think a junior.
Oh yeah.
Clifton Powell. That nigga always a villain.
Clifton Powell.
Yep. And then last but not least, Jada Pinkett Smith. The four villains of Hood Movie Review.
Damn.
Hey, nigga almost wrecked.
That'd be an awful way to end the show.
That'd be a terrible way to end the show.
We had to end it right there like that. Well, sorry.
Yep.
So he gets pressed by the Bloods. And then after this, like he goes back to the to Brandy's house, and he's trying to get some, and she's not going.
No. That's when he went to the crib. He went to the crib.
I'm about to say he went to the crib. He went to Brandy's
That's when he went and got his fade hooked up.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So he asked his dad, "Hey man, you know, you trying to cut my hair? You trying to fade up in the back?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you." So then he lies about getting losing his virginity.
Didn't understand that why he made up a whole story for his pops.
Horrible.
I forgot he lied about it. I thought that did happen. I forgot he lied about that.
I thought it did. That's what I'm saying. So when I seen it, I was like, okay, whatever. But then you watch it today. It's like you lied about it got in trouble.
He got in trouble for the lie because he said, "Did you wear rubber?"
And he lied about the whole story.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what, Dad? I was lying.
But you know,
my thing is,
I'm your dad. I'm your dad.
If you're gonna lie about getting some cheeks and you know you're gonna get in trouble, why not just say, "Yeah, I wore the rubber," and then just save yourself the time?
He said
his lie was just everywhere.
Man, you know what? You're gonna laugh your ass off, right? Me and Greg.
I ain't really getting that.
Yeah, he was wild for that. To have a lie and then get in trouble for not telling the lie, but he got in trouble for what he said in the lie.
Exactly, like nigga, like that was terrible.
So he ends up so after lying about losing virginity, he gets picked up by Ricky, and Ricky he's telling Ricky man, I ain't never lied to my dad before ever in my life. Which is like you didn't have to. So Ricky's telling him hey, I got a recruiter from USC coming through. So he's like, okay, bet. So then we see him. He takes the SATs, and literally you see him he's like he's not even thinking about it, dude. And Trey is with him hey nigga, get back on the test, go back and do your thing, you tripping right now.
Fuck this SAT. That's what Ricky was thinking. Fuck this SAT.
So Furious takes Trey and Ricky to Compton and teaches them about gentrification and how crack moved in.
Hey, this is real though. This is probably. Hey, no, real talk though. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is probably one of the most informational scenes for black men.
Oh no, for sure. Honestly, everything he said he was saying some smart shit.
Yeah.
Every time. And then we get to a street race. They're at a street race, and they're all chilling, talking about religion and women. And when Ricky and Trey come back, and Ferris, the leader of the Bloods, he rudely bumps into Ricky. And
was
Ricky
he a leader of the Bloods, or he just was a leader of that group?
Well, leader of that group of Bloods, the Crenshaw Mafia niggas.
Oh, you one of them Crenshaw Mafia?
Yep. And Ricky calls him out, and more Bloods come out. And Doughboy and the rest of the group comes out, and Doughboy's like, "Hey, we got a problem." He shows off his gun that's in his waistband. He's like, "Hey, you got a problem?" So then they leave.
Gangsta shit.
And then Ferris comes back with his Mac 11 and goes, starts shooting up in the air. And they're like, "Oh, snap." And here's some trivia for y'all. Ricky, who's Morris Chestnut, almost got his leg run over by Ice Cube in that scene.
Nigga, you had enough time to move your leg. Nigga, the nigga had to hit the switches. The nigga had it. The nigga was hitting the switches. But how did you almost get your leg ran over?
Yeah. And you can see him. So at that time, like literally, like during the scene where he's shooting the Mac 11 in the air, you can see him running the Trey's car and slipping and sliding on the street. So luckily, he managed to crawl away in time, and John Singleton used the tape to due to its authenticity, is what it said.
Well, and here's my thing though. Oh, go ahead. I know you
good.
Nah, like my thing is this though. Like, what did you think? I mean, like you're coming to the street. I don't know what that shit's called. Whatever that shit's called, the street, like you said, the street race, and you bump Trey. But there's so many bitches out there. So what was your motive? What was your motive at all? Why'd you bump Doughboy in there? Like, what was your motive? I mean, Ricky.
Well, Doughboy was sitting in the car.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
why are you pressing
in the
Ricky?
car.
But why you out of all people though? Why are you pressing Ricky?
I think it was one of those things where, like, I think he didn't mean to bump him, but it was afterwards that was the problem because he was walking, and when he went away, he like bumped him, and then he didn't like say excuse me, nothing. He just like he kind of gave him a
what's
look.
your problem?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like I don't think he meant to do that, but afterwards it was kind of like, bro, that's what made it rude because you didn't say nothing after you bumped into me. It's like, nigga, like you bumped into me. Like,
he said, hey, what's your problem?
I think she bumped into him on purpose. I don't know. You don't throw that much shoulder in somebody when you just accidentally.
He said, I think he did it on purpose.
But Regina King even said it like, bro, he too old for that. He don't do that to them older niggas. He too old to be hanging with us. And that's one of the things I was like, hey, bro, hey, nigga, why don't you hang with niggas your age, bro? Because you don't get that shit off.
I think they said he was 26. They was like, yeah, he 26 acting like that.
Bro, these niggas was fresh out. These niggas was in high school.
Yeah, I'm about to say they're in high school. Like, so I'm gonna ask you because me and TK didn't know. Who's the older brother between the two? Is it Ricky or is it Doughboy?
Doughboy's the oldest brother, but Doughboy went to jail. Went to jail. So technically, Doughboy he got out, they said around 18. So baby, okay. Doughboy's 18, 19. Ricky's 17 years old. Nigga, you're too old to be fucking with these kids, bro. These kids ain't do shit to you.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. TK got kicked out.
Oh, TK got kicked out. I'm looking at me like, where the hell? I
seen him freeze, but I thought he was gonna be straight.
Yeah, I'm like, where the hell? But yeah, bro, that low key pissed me off. Like, bro, you should have been. Go to nigga. You should be getting off of work. Go take care of your family. Like, there's so many things you need to do, bro. Like you're 26. These kids is 19, bro. Go to where you're supposed to fucking be, bro. Let things have that way. That you really fucked up. Your grown ass is supposed to be mature. You really fucked up a good time.
Yeah, I was like, you're grown. Like, why are you messing with these? Yeah, exactly what you said. Why are you messing with these kids right now?
You mess with these kids. You mess up a good time to bust your gun. Niggas get on my hey, pissed me off, bro. He pissed me off, and then you got bro in the back just riding around with a double barrel shotgun like he's fucking Elmer Fudd.
I was gonna say he was going everywhere with that.
Shit's ridiculous, bro. It's just ridiculous. This movie just was just ridiculous.
Well, you gotta remember this is the first Hood movie.
Oh yeah, it is the first Hood movie, and I will give them that. It is the first Hood movie. You know, it is the first Hood movie. It is what it is. You're right. I was told
it's one of the things you got just like it was one of the things was like as the first one, you know, they gave us something, people loved it.
Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error.
So they all end up leaving. On the way home, Ricky and Trey get pulled over by some cops. It's the same cops, the same self-hating cop from when he was a kid that ends up harassing him.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same one. Remember when he was a little kid and old boy?
See, I missed that one. I missed it.
Yeah, but I said when he was a kid, he was dealing with that same cop because he was the same one that was like, "Oh, I hope you got him." You know, wouldn't be one less nigga in the streets. And then,
yeah, bro, what them niggas do to you? And that's like the fact that sometimes you have to remind niggas that, hey, nigga, you know you black too, right?
Well, that's what he's trying to tell him because he was like, because earlier in the movie he even told him, he said, "Hey, it's a shame, you know." He said, "It's a problem." He's like, "What's the problem?" He's like, "Shame you don't know what it is." What was told him was that you're a coon.
Oh, you talking about
Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, Fury told him that. So like I said, he gets harassed by him. He's like, "You think you tough, huh? He's like, you one of them Crenshaw motherfuckers, huh? You one of them?" And he's like, nah. Like he just sitting there like with the gun to his chin, like, huh?
We ain't do nothing. We ain't do nothing.
You know they playing that song. Going
That
through
nigga
it,
Trey, that nigga Trey said we didn't do nothing. No
he
shit.
didn't even do nothing.
He knows you ain't do nothing. That's why he's fucking with you.
So Trey goes to Brandy's house. He's pissed off, and what was it? TK is back. He's still loading though, but he's back.
Right, you see how I'm moving? Like, come on, come on.
So he ends up coming back, and he's all like mad. He's like, "Oh, they keep fucking with me. They keep fucking with me. They keep messing with me." And he starts swinging. In the air.
And she was just looking at him like, "Let me just give this man some pussy."
It wasn't until he started crying. It wasn't until he started crying because when she started crying, when he started crying, she was like, "Hey, you know what?
This nigga,
we go give some."
You know what? And you know what was crazy because they got into that argument. They got into that argument about it when he was sitting on them steps, and she thought for sure she was never gonna get that nigga no coochie no time soon. Lo and behold,
she said she's going to get married.
Yeah, lo and behold, a day later.
It was the next day.
My have the tables have turned. You'd be surprised. Janet Jackson looks fat.
Should have given him the yeeks and the yams. The next day,
hey, she gonna be sorry, Kitty. She gonna be sorry at me. I'm nothing in me alive.
Oh no.
Bro, we're having this.
Your dad just told you. Your dad just start yelling at you for that.
Dad, it's me alone.
He said, "Dad, you understand?" It's me alone.
It's me alone. Oh, welcome back, dog.
You missed what Sledge said. He's like, "Well, nothing to that." I said, "Listen, he understood what your dad said." TK, be real.
Oh, damn.
Me alone.
I just gave her a 3, and by the shape of her titty.
A 3.
He said for this movie. We said for this movie.
I did. I said it's Nia Long. It's Nia Long. Huh?
Is this her worst looking movie? Maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe. It probably is because she was cute and Made in America. But hear me out. She still was young. And if we were that age in high school, we and Nia, we sending notes, we sending notes to Nia Long in her life.
Nigga ain't wrote years, but I'll be
3 or not. You fucking with Nia Long in high school, and you try to fuck with her the long way. Nia Long pretty.
I'm trying to trap her. Sledge
Hey,
the long way.
It's terrible.
And you seen them gumdrop nipples?
That's why he gave her a 3.
That's why she got the 3. It was the shape of the titty. You remember when you used to make them little volcanoes in school?
You niggas in your niggas.
What do you say?
Hey,
so next day, the Bloods can't pull up. They try to scare him. They're just sitting in their car, just looking at him.
Don't think they're Bloods.
Right there. And that's why Ice Cube does the thing, like, "Hey, like we got does it again. Like we got a problem. We got to get that look," and they drive off.
We outside, nigga.
So then Shanice tells Ricky, she's like, "Go to the store and pick up some cornmeal for me."
Hey, so wait. I have some questions. So did we talk about when the recruiter came over to the house yet?
Yeah, we
he
did.
Said he came through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
My nigga, my man's Monster, he was trying to get a scholarship to go play baseball at USC. Terrible. And I feel like the recruiter should have gave him a look at least. He should have asked if he had any film.
Did you see the way he asked him? He said, "Hey, hook me up with a scholarship real quick." That's not how it goes.
He said, I used to play baseball, nigga.
Yeah, I used to play baseball. Hook me up with a scholarship.
At 5?
I feel like the recruiter, if the recruiter was a good recruiter, he would have still gave it some type of thought. Like he would have said, "I got JUCO scholars. Like we got JUCO places you can go." Like
if you're a recruiter, you go to somebody's house and you see 4 or 5 niggas in the front of their house all drinking 40s. was all drinking 40. And then one of them goes, "Hey man, give me a scholarship. You ain't gonna take him seriously."
Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the
I'll-
fuck
look.
out of here.
I just think there's potential everywhere, and I
You are not gonna take him seriously. You see him hanging out drinking. You're like, no.
No.
hey,
I'm gonna look
when's
at
the last time
him
you ran?
like,
I would have asked him, sir, when's the last time you ran a 40? You know, you always drink
Yeah,
all these 40. When's the last
ran.
hey, when the last
He said,
time
"I ran to the store and got a 40."
Hey, when the last time you hit a baseball? I know you're swinging. I know you're swinging the bat. I know you're swinging the bat. I know. I know
You can tell
niggas.
by
I
Monster's
know
face.
niggas like. I know niggas like you.
Yeah, it was real ignorant. That's why I was like, that's wild how he did that. And then asked him again on the way out. He was like, "Hey man, so what's up with that scholarship?" It was like, "Bro,
Right.
Bro,
It's the persistence. I think it's the determination. If your mind can carry you to do it, I think he can achieve his goals. All he needed was a chance.
no, that's
hell
terrible."
no.
That's terrible.
All he needed was an
Hell.
opportunity.
I don't even think he was in
Hell
school.
no.
I don't even think he was in school.
No.
So
The
Shanice
niggas
tells
dropped out of
Ricky,
school.
Shanice tells Ricky to go to the store and get her some cornmeal.
So she can
Hey,
finish
did we rate
frying
her?
fish.
I'm sorry. Did we rate her?
We did not. Well, so we just rated
She-
the love interest. We always did the
she-
main love interest. But go ahead.
she
I already know what you're gonna say.
She fine.
You said, "Hey, Demeter, let's go play
Hey,
my
Demeter,
phone."
come play
Right.
with my. Hey, took the words out of my mouth. Come play with my frog.
So,
Come
so
play with my
he
frog.
tells him to go pick up some cornmeal, and while he's watching an army commercial, and he's like, So then he goes outside, and Doughboy starts roasting him for being a father. And he's like, "Yeah, look at you," which is wild. He was like, "Yeah, look at you," and he starts talking about him. He's like, "Yeah, you got a kid, blah blah blah," and he was like, "Fuck you." He was like, "Fuck me." He's like, "You need to go fuck your wife because that's how you got that baby." And he's
That's
like,
how you got our baby.
So then he like tackles him. They start fighting. But you notice though, before they fought, he took the gun out of his waistband, gave it to Chris.
Mhm.
Yes.
There you
Because
go.
it's my brother. I don't. It's my brother.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
I just noticed that this time around.
He didn't even really like want to beat him up. He just wanted to let him know, like,
Yeah, like I'm still your big brother.
I'm still big bro, whatever. Yes, so
Yeah.
I think he is his big brother for real. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm still big bro. You know, I've been doing this since we was little. You know, like,
Yeah,
You got that little fight,
like,
and then we see the favoritism again.
right? Why he hit me?
The mom comes out, she slaps Doughboy, and then she's like, "Ricky, are you all right?" He's like, literally, she's like, "Are you all right?" And he was like, "Mom, why you hit me?" And then she hit him
Because he
again.
was
Though.
winning. Like, damn, that's why she asked him if he was all right too. You wasn't losing. You're not the one that was getting beat up.
No, but even if he was losing, she wasn't about to do that. Same thing with him. You know she wasn't.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Somebody got to see the positive in her ways. Still, that's me.
There was no positive. Then Trey and Ricky end up going to the store, and on the way out, the Bloods approach them in their car, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna dip off." So then they run off, and they end up splitting
the
up.
dumbest idea.
Yeah, he said, "We're gonna split up," and he's like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I'll catch up to you." So now they did that. He been watching too much Scooby Doo. Like, why are you splitting up?
So now I'll let you go ahead and finish off, but I have some statements that I have about Ricky in this situation.
Okay. So then like I said, they split up, and then the car goes back to their house, and Doughboy's like, "What they do? You know what? Let me go ahead and warn him." He's like, "We'll go ahead and warn Ricky." So then they drive off, and Doughboy goes to warn Ricky and Trey. Car pulls up again while Ricky's standing there, and he's like,
he's scratching the lottery ticket right now. First of all,
yeah.
So that means
with
he's
a
not
fucking
paying
white
attention.
milk. With a white milk.
He had chocolate milk. I think it was chocolate milk.
Oh, was it
I can't
chocolate?
remember. What kind
I
of
think it
milk
was chocolate milk. And he had one of them
Nigga,
little
you was
ho-hos, the little the little thing, whatever, the little chocolate
He
thing.
got some cornmeal and some snacks.
Bro, that's a terrible football diet.
That's why he was looking at the army.
Hey.
But while he was looking at the army,
Because he even told Trey, he's like, "Man, he's thinking about going to the army." He's like, "Man, ain't nobody." And before in the scene, literally, Furious tells him, he said, "Listen, the army is not for no black man." He said, "They pretty much there to control you." He said, "You never want to be a part of that."
he was only thinking about that though because that test. He was thinking he ain't passed that test. He was like, I got to pass 700. But the thing
But here's
is,
the thing, though.
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, TK, we talking about the same thing. Go ahead.
Because he ain't get, like, before they left the house, he had got the letter in the mail, but he was too busy not wanting to, he was trying to cool down, whatever. So he never got to see what his results was. But he was already thinking like, damn, I didn't make that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go to the Army. I'm gonna go ahead and be able to help my family out.
Well, nobody told Ricky, and which is a lack of knowledge, and this is why I was low key mad at Furious. But the Army was trying to control you, but at the same time, the Army's really was going to. You have a son, and you want to play football, and you're good at playing football. You wasn't going to go to war, nigga. You was going to be running back for the Army.
I don't know. I think we should just. So what happens to Ricky?
So then so the car pulls up, and then what does Trey yell out? Ricky!
Ricky!
So okay. All right. So now I'm pretty sure
no zigging.
I like
no
that.
Zagging. Listen, no zigging, just straight.
He won the receiver.
He ran a halfback dog.
Just running.
He a running back.
Like
That's what you do. Hey, what's up with all that fiddle faddling around the hole? Hit the hole, get downhill, hit the hole, go. You feel me? All that.
Wait. But here's the thing, though. I got a problem with that, though, because I'm gonna go back. So he did the run. He got popped. He got shot twice. He got shot in the leg, and he got shot in his back. And they were like,
got shot in his leg.
He dropped. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go back a second.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we saw the highlight tape, he was juking. He was
killing. Said it wasn't my best game. Said it wasn't his best game, Kenny.
If somebody has a gun on you, and another thing too, I don't know if a double barrel shotgun has that kind of range because they were kind of far.
It had the pump though. It had the pump. It'll take your back out. Oh, it'll take your back out. No homo. Hey, it'll blow your back out. No homo.
He was kind of far, in my opinion. But I mean, even if it does get him, you didn't move. If you see somebody aim at you like this, you need to be, juking and jiving.
Well, my thing is, there's nothing that you could, like, I'm like, you're telling me there's no fence because he was shooting straight. That nigga, and let's be real. I mean, I know it's a movie, but let's be real. This nigga don't go to the gun range every damn day. So, there's just.
What I feel about Ricky in this situation, I feel like Ricky wasn't going to be a good soldier. I don't think Ricky was going to be a good player.
Hey,
all that tells me right there is just from those situations, Ricky had no awareness or no situational awareness. They was already being chased. He was too worried about scratching. He didn't see him the first time they pulled up on him and traced him. He said, okay, when I tell him we're going to cut. He ain't know what the hell was going on. He just knew he had to run somewhere. So they cut, whatever, right? No situational awareness. He said, hey, it was his idea to split up. It was Ricky's idea to split up. He said, hey, let's split up. Why is it your idea to split up and you don't want to get shot? Because you're not paying attention. You have no awareness right now. If he was a Madden character, I feel like his awareness would be a 2.
And he want to fight in somebody's army. You can't handle the hood, niggas.
You can't even.
You want to fight for different. You want to fight for our country.
At the same time, you be out there in one of them fields and Iraq, Taiwan, whatever.
First mission.
Well, that was Desert Storm. That was Desert Storm too. So they ain't nothing but sand. That nigga wasn't gonna be able to see shit.
No, he was gonna be done for. He's the first thing wrong.
I think he should have just looked at that letter and tried. And look, I didn't like how. I don't like how they showed the scholarship situation. Like, you got USC looking at you, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you got a whole bunch of other schools looking at you then.
Yeah.
So why are you just worried about this score just to go to USC when you could go somewhere else?
Because
I'm going to say with this situation, John
Singleton was trying to,
with this situation, it's one of the situations where I feel like he wasn't looked at like that. But so I think he had the one college that looked at him, and that's why he was so thirsty to go to that one college.
The one college, USC.
I know that's wild, right? You would think if you got USC, you got others, but
you gonna have. You feel me? I don't get it. Like, just that one school. It's either USC or the Army. Nigga, I'm pretty sure you could have went to motherfucking Nevada. Or he could have went to somewhere, somewhere close to that kind of, like, somewhere out there, out west. I don't know no small school. UNLV, whatever that shit is. What's that? Like, you could have went somewhere and played running back. That's when running backs was needed back in the day.
We need it.
He had a problem. Man.
So
You know that nigga wasn't no zigging and zagging. He couldn't even catch the ball when he was younger. He wasn't a receiver.
It was
He was a running back.
He was a power back. He just ran. But the
He
highlight
had
tape
to move
was
on that
different.
tape. Yeah,
Was in
on
the
that
tape,
tape he had something different.
joking. But there he acted like he was a power back. You know, he can just run straight. He he's a fullback.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, you can juke a job. We seen you do it.
Nigga went from Reggie Bush and that highlight tape to Jerome Bettis running down the street. Like,
so they take his dead body and lay him on the couch. Which
I've never understood that part either.
they
Mama.
just took him back, laid him on the couch, and it was they called out for the mom, and then because like to be fair, they didn't know what was going on. All they knew was y'all calling my name. And all of a sudden, I got a baby in my hand. Like, so I got a baby in my hand. And they're like, hey, don't get a baby here. Like, I didn't know. You just called my name.
That was the girlfriend that had the baby.
I know that's what I'm saying. But like, either way, I'm saying, like, she didn't know what was going on. She just walked in the room and was like, wait a minute.
But he tried to take the baby. He wanted to be, the baby don't need to be seeing this. Like, the baby didn't need all that smoke in his face. But don't nobody want to listen, Like,
baby kept seeing smoke in the face. It's wild. And, Trey, so they're in there crying, blood's everywhere, and while this is going on, the mom blames Doughboy. She's like, "What did you do?"
Yeah,
he's like, "I didn't do nothing. What did you do?" And she's like, "I know you had something to do with it." He's like hugging her, and she's like, "No, I know you had something to do with it." She's like crying, and so they end up leaving. Trey tells Doughboy, he's like, "Hey, meet me in my house in 5 minutes." And while he's walking out, Brandy's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, shows out the way. He's like, I gotta go. He goes back in the house, reach underneath his bed, and grab his little box, and he finds his gun. Like he grabs his gun, he's getting it ready. And Furious is like, he's like, what's going on? Hey, he's like, hey, he's gonna do that. And he pretty much tells him, you're a man with that gun in your hand, huh?
we get one of them one time. He's a man without it.
Yeah, I'm a man without it. So he pretty much tells him, he's like, hey, let their family handle that. That's their family's issue. I'm not gonna lose you to no gang violence. I'm not about to lose you to that. Like, I'm not, what I'm saying? Like, I got responsibility. You want responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So then they hug it out, and everything seems okay. But then Trey leaves anyway. He just out the window, just dip. And then they go to ride on some young clowns.
That's my. Hey, so look, what was I gonna say though? Because we haven't did that yet. So it's all right.
So
it was Juice. Real talk, it was Juice. We did Juice. You know how Pac looked at that gun?
Yeah,
that's the same way that.
He looked
at that shotgun. That's a love interest right there. How they looked at that gun, they looked at that gun and they seen power.
That's exactly what that was.
Mm-hmm.
So then, they end up going out there and in the car, and we hear that music. And Trey's like, "Hey,
let me out,
Doe."
And then then he looks back at him and then he goes, "Hey, Doe. Let me out."
that nigga said, you know what? I'm really not about this life.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, because he really did. Because they were the way that he said, I ain't trying to kill nobody smoking.
Yeah,
so he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm about to go home, and he does. But Doughboy got his mind made up. He's like, this nigga got to go.
Yeah, bro. I'm tired of this nigga. And he killed my brother. I'm spinning the block for my nigga.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And while this going on, Doughboy's mom opens up the SAT scores, and we see he had a 710, so he passed.
Mm.
And how much did he what do you need? A 700?
700?
700. He got a 710.
So can I ask you, what is a 710 though? What is considered a 710?
Hey, shit, that's a C plus probably.
Yeah, whatever it is, he passed.
If you need a C, he got a C plus.
Yeah,
yeah, that 10. About to say shit. I'd have been happy to have a 701. I remember when I opened up my OGTs and them motherfuckers said 399. I was like, oh damn it, I needed a 400.
One of them. You just need one. You just need 1 point.
Yeah, on
That
all
was me.
five
That was
of
me
them.
on the science one. I kept getting 398.
On all five of them, I needed just 1 point the first time. I was like, ain't this about a? I failed them all.
It was the math one for me. The math one was for me.
It was a science one for me. I kept having to retake it. And so he ends up, so like I said, he passed. So they end up meeting him out there. You know, they're out there eating outside the restaurant, you know, on the park bench. Not only park bench, but like the restaurant chairs in the back. And they ride up on him, and they end up getting revenge, and they kill all the Bloods in the area.
Ain't that where they killed the niggas in Menace to Society too?
Yep, and that and just like you said that, I got this ready for y'all. This is the Hood Movie Commandments. This is the first.
Hey, what?
Yep, and this
nigga said
what?
So I got 2 rules so far. We're gonna keep adding to it as the shows go on. So this
I like that.
the Hood Movie Commandments. Rule number 1: the first commandment is never get high on your own supply. That's gotta be number 1. That's everybody's number 1. Now number 2: never eat outside fresh off of murder because you are a dead man. Just like this.
Every time,
and this one, you will get smoked. So keep watching, and we will drop more Hood Movie Commandments on y'all as the shows keep going.
Put Don't Sleep with Jada Pinkett on there.
That's good. Yeah, you're right. You're right for sure. So then we get the so after they shoot them all. Ice Cube pretty much tells him, he's like, "Hey man, look, I was watching the news." He's like, "I've never been up this early before." You know, he's like, "I'm glad you left." He's like, "I understand why you left." He's like, "You're gonna be pretty much haunted by murdering somebody. Like it haunts you." And he told him, he was like, "I was watching the news and I didn't see nothing on my brother." And he was like, "So either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on."
Hey, but that was the worst. That was some terrible acting, but it speaks volumes.
Oh yeah, he was saying some stuff, but he was just like, it wasn't bad. It was bad acting, but with a good ass quote. So
I don't know. The part that got me, he was like, "Shit, you never know. Somebody probably gonna try to smoke me."
Yep, that's what he said. He said he's like, I know I'm gonna be gone soon myself. He was like, I know they're going. He's like, he's pretty much saying with the gun violence going on, you know, I kill somebody for revenge. Someone gonna kill me for revenge. There's someone gonna kill them for revenge. It's a never-ending cycle. Like it just that's what he's pretty much saying. So he's like, I'm gonna mess around and get smoked one day. And then he's just like, yep. And then he's like, that's what Trey's like, hey, you got another brother. Yeah, you got another brother here.
You have a brother in me.
Yeah, you got another brother here.
No, nigga, no. My brother.
Just say the top for that. Say the top for that.
That's like God forbid if Brandon dies and TK says, "Hey man, don't worry, you got a brother with me."
He's like, nigga, get off my face, man. It was like, don't be a man. He said, shut up, nigga. So we get the Hood movie subtitle ending. I think it's the first one. I guess it's the first Hood movie, so it's the first Hood subtitle ending.
Yeah.
So Doughboy, you know, it says he buried his brother the next day and was murdered 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later.
He disappeared. And then we see Trey goes to Morehouse and Brandy ends up going to Spelman. And then the movie ends with that. And it was just fire. Like when they had the Ice Cube song play at the end. Like that shit was it. He had to live in South Central. I was okay. He was going crazy on that. So here's some more trivia. Lloyd Avery II, who played the gang member that shot Ricky, became a member of the Bloods after this movie's release, and he was arrested in real life in connection with a double homicide. Sentenced to life in prison and killed on the evening of September 6, 2005 by his cellmate.
So wait, he became a Blood off of a movie playing in the gang. So he had a good, promising career ahead of him in acting, but played a gang member.
He played in Poetic Justice too.
Yep, he's one that killed Q-Tip in the beginning. He's the same one.
So he had a good career acting and chose to switch.
Bro,
he was even starring in his own Hood movie. I think I'm debating if we're gonna review it or not, but he had his own Hood movie too. He was
I've seen about him.
Not even that. There was one where the guy was like doing photography. He was like, "Hey, you know, I want you to take pictures of all the crime we do." and that's pretty much it. It's pretty much like
He
Snow
said,
on
I
the Bluff.
want you to take pictures of
Yeah.
all the crime so you just
I
see how
don't-
stupid he was already because
that was great to the movie.
yeah, about to say he was yeah. Mm.
And a little thing. I got a little did you notice thing. So did you notice when Doughboy was younger and he got arrested, the kid says to Ricky, "Yo, man, what happened?" He was the one who ends up growing up to shoot Ricky. That was his character.
Oh wow.
When I say, yo, what happened?
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, man, what happened?" Like when Doughboy was getting arrested.
Damn, so he's the one that the one that grew up to be the dude you was talking about then.
Yep. He ends up growing up to be the one that shoots him later on.
Now, I got did you notice?
Go ahead.
Did you notice Dookie wore that shirt that said Dookie on it? Every episode, every scene you see him in.
Yes.
He was dirty.
All right.
Yes.
About to say they all wore, so like I feel like they were terrible criminals because Monster had a hat that said Monster. Chris had a hat that said, yo, I'm Chris. And Dookie had the shirt that said Dookie on it. So every time.
Well,
Hey, little Chris got shot, right?
yeah. You weren't here earlier, but basically, little Chris got shot, and that's why he ended up in the wheelchair. And that happened to him. That happened to the real life actor too.
About to say the real life actor was really in the wheelchair, so that's why he looked so good riding around in it.
That's why he was moving on that thing. He was moving in that thing. Yeah, so that was.
He had the gloves on, didn't he?
I gotta go back.
Yeah, I don't think he had on no gloves.
He had the wheelchair gloves.
I don't need that.
Yeah, I don't think he had no. About to say, I feel like if you wear wheelchair gloves, you just beginning still. Like we're not really.
Oh no, because Chill he wore 'em. The one from House Party.
Mm-hmm.
He wore them gloves.
But he wasn't always in that wheelchair though.
No, I'm saying, but he been doing it ever since.
About to say, that's what I'm saying though. But he was in House Party, he was dancing.
So that movie.
We ain't see Chris dancing. You said Chris was like this since he was 6. He ain't no damn gloves.
Yeah, he ain't no gloves for me.
He built a callus up on his hands.
Hands is rough. No, it's calluses.
He ain't built up just one.
So, like I said, that was the end of the movie. Who was the real villain of this movie?
The mom.
The mom.
Yep.
Okay.
We all agree it was the mom.
All right. Yeah, we all on the same.
She was terrible. Because I feel like if she didn't, here's the thing. I got a little theory. Like for this one. I feel like Doughboy was not a real gangster for real. I think he only acted out because just like Kane, he didn't have a positive influence in his life. And I feel like he was pretty much like, it's like, okay, I ain't got a positive influence. And my mom showing favoritism towards this nigga. So he got kind of a hate towards this nigga, but he knows he has to protect him. I think that's the thing too. So he's got that thing going on as well. And I think he wasn't, like I said, he didn't really, he wasn't really trying to be out here thugging. He was just kind of like, hey, look, this is all I know. This man, he got football, so I'm gonna do what I need to do to protect him. But I know he got that ticket. That's what I think he was. I know he got the ticket. He didn't make it. He's like, I know he got the ticket, so I'm gonna make sure to do what I do to protect him, even though I got like a hate thing towards him. So that's my little theory on him.
I don't think he had hate for him though, for real.
It was kind of not a hate, but it was kind of jealousy towards him. He's like, man, you don't do big things. I'm gonna be stuck here.
Well, you can tell, but you can also tell when they were kids who had the better dad. Like she probably
Could we tell?
Like you can tell like she probably really liked Ricky's dad more than she liked Doughboy's dad.
But wait, that ain't got nothing to do with your kid though.
She said that though. She said he had a hate towards him, like because when them kids were talking outside,
they said he had hate
towards him to look like the dad.
But then it was like Ricky's dad wasn't really shit either because it's like, yeah, Ricky's dad gave him that ball. That's the only thing this nigga had from his dad was that ball.
Yeah, but she loved Ricky's dad. She was just probably fucking on Doughboy. I mean, Doughboy's dad.
I say, but I feel like Doughboy for real. Like, if she was a good mother, he wouldn't. Even when he got in trouble for stealing, I don't think it would have been as severe. You know, like this nigga went to jail, was in and out of jail from the rest of his life from that.
That's why I thought he had killed somebody. Like growing up, I thought because I ain't seen the movie forever. So from my memory, I thought he went back and killed that dude. That's what, right.
But it's like, for him just stealing from the store, it shouldn't have been.
He got 7 years.
Like, like that's wild from that.
7 years.
I feel like
a local convenience store.
Hoes got to eat too, though.
Hey, he said, Why we gotta be hosting? Oh, my bad, bitch.
Hey, that's
That was
wild.
wild. That was wild. He hated her in Friday. He didn't like her Friday either.
That was the sister.
He didn't like her Friday either. So, who's the most
redeemable?
redeemable character?
No.
I agree.
I mean, I don't think he was a bad character for real.
He wasn't. I tell you, he was trying to be the protector. He knew, like, so he's
Called a
probably
product.
he's a
Called a
product
product of my environment.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I definitely agree that he's most redeemable character. I would say second would be Trey, because Trey had his moment where he pretty much had the moment he had to make a decision. He's like, hey, look, this moment's going to affect me for the rest of my life. And he's like, you know what? Don't let me out.
Let me out.
Let me out. So
but I feel like that right there is what made him redeemable too, though. Like that's what made Doe redeemable, because even that next day, he felt some type of way about it. Then when no girl came in to try to get some rock up off of him, he was like, "Nah, go home and take care of them babies." You know,
that was
like
a terrible time to come up. Like you see me over here talking. I'm grieving
Right.
my brother right now. You
I'm
over here asking
grieving.
me,
My
she said,
brother
"It's the
just died.
Mac." She's like, "It's the Mac." So
Man.
yeah, that was terrible timing. But if you notice too, when he goes to shoot Ferris, he was crying. Like you see the tears run down his face too when he was.
I gotta take a life. I just feel like he felt like, and this is what John Single was just saying, was trying to say, like, bro, I gotta take a life to try to feel right because somebody took somebody else's life. Like that's wild. That's wild.
See, what I'm thinking, like, I agree with you on that. I also think when he went to shoot him, when he was crying, I think he was also thinking, hey, this ain't gonna bring my brother back.
Nope.
But
I gotta do it.
I gotta do this.
I gotta do it.
Because he's a bro, I was the one that shot him. He's like, why you
he started telling, yeah, like damn. He's the one that was driving though.
Yeah. So he was a part of it.
He was in the car.
He said they was hanging with you.
Yeah, I gotta ride on this nigga.
So now we're on to, I feel like it's everybody's most favorite part of the show, the most gangster scene of the movie. Who's the most gangster scene of the movie? I got three. I got three scenes that's tied because they're all wild. You know, my gangsters are never actually gangster for us. Always this wild shit.
It takes a lot for a man to cry to get some pussy. I'll tell you that. It takes a lot for a man. It takes a lot for a man to sit there and have tears.
My first one
never be crying in front of a female.
We talked about this. Yeah, that was nasty. We talked about this, but this the first gangster scene to me. The fact that Monster asked the USC recruiter, can he hook him up with scholarship? That was wild. Then, second most gangster scene to me, when they was outside talking, and that crackhead just ran straight up and snatched that chain off of Dookie's neck like that.
Hey,
they chased that nigga the fuck.
They stepped him down, threw a trash can at him, but it was still like that was still bold. That was really bold to do. And then my third most gangster scene was when they was outside talking, and it's always when they're outside talking. When outside talking, and Dookie offers him a suck on his pacifier. That was wild. Did you notice that? Did you notice he did that?
He did hand it to him like that. You want?
He's like, nah,
I'm cool. Like, I say, mine would be real talk. I said this earlier when they was outside and they was talking shit to each other, and he said, "All right, now, Chris." He said, "I'll roll your ass up off this porch." That was
bro, it's the fact they said pick Chris up, and they picked this nigga up.
Yes. Hey man, come on, pick Chris up before they start shooting.
Pick him up in the wheelchair. He was.
Oh, they picked that nigga Chris up.
You know how you gotta feel. Just. Hey guys, thanks guys. I appreciate this.
You helpless as fuck.
And like you said, I feel like another gangster scene would have been real talk. Like you said, if Ricky was doing it to get him a ramp, and he'd be like, "Damn man, I ain't gonna never get that ramp."
That's wild.
I ain't gonna never get my ramp. I ain't gonna never be van accessible. About to say the line.
I was never handicap accessible. I'm always on the grass. So now we're gonna rate the movie out of 5. What do we rate this movie out of 5? I'm gonna go with watching it again. I feel like I got a more of appreciation of it. Like watching it, really just like trying to look for stuff. I feel like this isn't a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not. This isn't one of those movies where, in my opinion, has. I don't want to say rewatch value because I will go back and watch it if I see it's on. But it's not something I would be like, hey man, I feel like watching Boys in the Hood right now. That's not. It's not that kind of movie for me.
No.
So I think
Okay, Boys
I'm
in the
gonna
Hood. That's great. What you give it?
I'm gonna go with a 4.25. It's good, but it's not something like I said, it's not something where it's like a Juice or Menace to Society, something like that, where you go back and watch, you be like, hey, I'm gonna go back and watch this shit again. But it's not something like that.
I was at a strong 4 with it because it's not like I don't think it's a 5 out of 5, but
No.
I don't think it's no lower than 4 still. So.
I got.
Oh.
All right. He said a 4, I think, as well. I think that's what he was getting to. I don't know.
I was ready for that.
He had a strong opinion. I could tell he did.
FBI got him. They did finally stormed the fucking Hood Movie Review. And they said, no more.
Take y'all off.
I was waiting for it to get back. Oh, shit. I wasn't ready for that at all. He's I-rated.
Ooh, shit.
Movie review.
Movie
review. Movie review.
Yeah.
Watch us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Y'all want an encore? Yeah. Movie review. Movie review. Movie review. Watch us on YouTube. Sledge back yet? Well,
man.
Okay, bet. I was just texting him too. Watch us on YouTube. Okay, there you go.
So, Sledge.
You're muted.
Am I in?
Yeah, you're in now.
Am I
I was
in?
gonna say just start from the beginning. Just say I would give whatever.
Oh, no, my bad. My phone died. So listen, I would give it a 3.8, and this is why. The only reason why I give it a 3.8 is because, like you said, it doesn't really have a lot of rewatch value, but it has a lot of value in the movie that was given. It was also the first movie, so of course the first movie is never. It's the first.
So it is the
movie,
first
so
one.
Yeah. First hood movie.
It's the first hood movie we ever had. So it's going to have a lot of trial and error. So like, and then you get people like you get movies like Juice, and then you get people more. Then you get Menace to Society. So now niggas can really just pick off of where you fucked up at, or where you did good. So I gave it a 3.8. I'm really not a big fan of Boys in the Hood for real, but it does have it has a good meaning.
It's a good building place. Like it's a good thing to start off of and branch off of. Because like I said, it's not like it's a boring watch and like that. It's just kind of like you're getting your lesson. You're getting a look at what they're dealing with in the hood. Because like I said, we didn't have no hood movies yet. So you're getting a bit. So as a white person, you watching it, you're like, oh, so that's what's going on over there. Like it's kind of like you kind of be like, oh wow. But yeah, I think that's a good place to start off with that one. So, gotta end with this quote right here. No, actually, I'm gonna wait to do the quote because the next movie we are reviewing is "You Got Served." You don't know now, but you gonna find out.
Damn, I don't like that though. Damn. Do it for Lil Saint.
Do it for Lil Saint. We gonna
You Got Served is probably one of the worst mainstream movies.
I was gonna say we're gonna talk about it. When we break it down and see.
I wasn't expecting that to be on the list.
Yeah, it was on the list. So we had that vote one day. Everybody voted. Everybody said yes.
I don't think I voted.
I definitely don't think I voted for that. I ain't vote for 8 Mile either though. So,
hey, 8 Mile's more hood than Boys in the Hood. I'm gonna say that right now. It was
What?
more hood than Boys in the
Go
Hood.
for the wash.
Right now. Fuck Free World 313. I'm gonna say that.
Nah,
That's
I
how I
don't
feel about
agree.
it. But I'm gonna end it with this last quote. I'm gonna say, either they don't know, don't show,
Mm.
or don't care about what's going on in the hood.